All right, so Jake Paul. All right, so Francis Ngannou just ran, ducked, did whatever he could to avoid fighting Jake Paul. That is correct, or according to Jake Paul, because today, of course, we had the press conference between Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. That will be going down on Netflix. I did a Jackson podcast yesterday with Gina Carano. Very, very nice lady. It's good to see her back in there. Apparently, when she got cancelled, she put on like a ridiculous amount of weight. She was pre-diabetic because all these social justice warriors went after her and they cancelled the shit out of her and they took everything away. Her ability to earn money, her ability to act, and of course, she didn't have a fighting career at the time anyway, but now she's back and she's going up against, of course, Ronda Rousey. So it's a great fight between two pioneers in women's MMA. But as we know, Philip Lins will be taking on the Predator, Francis Ngannou. And I talked about this yesterday, right? Francis Ngannou is now talking about wanting to fight Jake Paul when he was offered a fight with Jake Paul. So to be fair to Jake Paul, it's kind of, you know, he's not a million miles away when he says, oh, you ran away, you were scared of me and all this type of nonsense, right? If I was Jake Paul, I'd be saying the same thing. I don't think Francis was scared. He certainly wasn't ducking. Francis Ngannou, if you've ever met him, I'm sure you know he's big when you see it on screen and you're like, whoa, he's big, or he's 6'5" or whatever it is. Let me tell you, I've been around Francis, right? He is a big, intimidating man. He has a very, very serious presence to him. He ain't running from anyone. No man alive, right? He's just not, right? Now, this is the press conference, what happened yesterday. Let's just watch this. A fun little interaction between Jake Paul and Francis Ngannou.
No, I'm not interested in fighting Jake Paul.
Never mind.
Oh, listen, I'm not done.
Oh, he said he's not interested in fighting Jake Paul. I thought that he was.
Interested in beating his ass.
Oh! He's interested in beating his ass, which probably would happen. But of course, Jake Paul had a good response.
Whoa, that's...
No fighting him.
Okay, just beating his ass. Interesting.
Yes.
Not going to fight him, just beat his ass.
No, I mean, I'm down. I've always been down. You were the option before Anthony Joshua, and you ran like a duck. And I bet you didn't think I would last longer than you did with Anthony either. So you just know that you get worked in boxing, and I would love to see it someday.
So anyway, he came out with a good response. He's like, listen, I lasted longer with Anthony Joshua than you did. And the reality of that, if you look at it from a factual standpoint, he did. Of course, Ngannou got dropped in the first round. He got finished with the second round. He got dropped with pretty much every single right hand that Anthony Joshua threw at him. I think it was round 6 or 7. I'm not going to look it up. I've got better things to do with my time, like getting a haircut. As you can clearly see, I'm going to be late, but I thought I'd smash this video out. Jake Paul didn't necessarily fight Joshua. We'll get to that in just a second, but let's finish the rest of this quote from Jake Paul.
You were just being a small boy, like not understanding, being a little disrespectful, and that's why I want to kick your ass now. I really didn't want to fight you, but now I want to beat you. So there's a difference.
Let's do it.
And that's why I hold it, the statement that I want to just beat you up.
All right, so without retreading the water of the Jake Paul-Anthony Joshua fight, I said this at the time, and it was true. Listen, fair play to Jake Paul. He did step in there with Anthony Joshua for $50 million, which is a lot of money. I was with my friends Adam Cattrall and Nick Peets, who I work with on TNT Sports, and we were talking about this. Is there anything, you know, that you wouldn't do for $50 million? Jake Paul obviously gets paid a tremendous amount of money anytime he boxes, his YouTube stuff and all the rest of it. He's a very wealthy man. God bless him, good for him. But he still did get paid $50 million. And he didn't do what Francis Ngannou did. He didn't stand there and go toe-to-toe. He didn't stand there and really have a go. He danced around all over the place, right? And a lot of people would do the exact same thing. I'm not sitting here shitting on the man, okay, like I have done. I know I have. I know I've been a critic. But he didn't. He didn't stand there and throw an exchange blows. He ran around the place. Half of the time he shot double legs. The one time that he did get cornered and one flush right hand landed, that was it. It was over and the jaw was broken. Now, seems like Jake Paul's up for this. And I got to say, I mentioned this a couple of days ago. I don't really think that's advisable. I didn't think that he would come back and do this kind of thing. I would have liked, because I'm genuinely intrigued, to be honest, because he is a good lump. He is clearly athletic and obviously likes to fight. He had the balls to step in there with Anthony Joshua. And now it looks like if Francis Ngannou can win his next fight, if he can beat Philip Lins, if he can, which he probably will, but No disrespect to Lind. He did leave the UFC on a 4-fight winning streak, and he was beating heavyweights. If he can beat Francis Ngannou, this might be the next spectacle that we get to see on Netflix, right? I didn't think Jake Paul would want to do that. And as I said, I was intrigued to see him go up against a real cruiserweight, someone his size, someone his age, not another freak show fight, which is exactly what this would be. And now Francis is like, you're a disrespectful guy. I've got to beat your ass. I've got to put you in your place. And along the way, probably make himself a boatload of cash as well. Now, Netflix, this is what they're doing now. They have the one coming up with Rousey and Carano. Obviously, they did Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. They did Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. And there's probably going to be a lot more of these to come because the viewing figures are probably astounding. Now, remember, Netflix is one of the biggest, or if not the biggest producer on the planet. Yes, it's a streaming service, but they make more TV shows and more movies than any other production company out there because that's what they do, right? You make the shows. If you're going to show the shows, then make the shows, make the movies, take all these billions and billions of dollars that you get from streaming revenue every single month and make your own movies, okay? Be the producer, the director, the whole thing. It's smart business from them. But to make those big Hollywood movies that they do with the big names in them, you're talking $100 million, okay? If not more. Whereas they can do a fight, they can do a boxing fight with someone like a Jake Paul and potentially a Francis Ngannou in the future or a Rousey and Carano and all the other ones that they've done, right? Pay them good money. Granted, last time Jake Paul was on 50 million and Joshua probably got the same. It's still cheaper than making a $150 million movie, right? And the interaction that they probably get, the new signups, 40 million people at once logging in and watching your service, that is invaluable. That is invaluable, right? Think about it. A hot movie comes out, people tune in, but they're not all on Netflix. They're not all talking about Netflix. Think about all the billboards that they put everywhere, advertising the fights. It's Netflix this, Netflix that. It's a great strategy because live sports is still one of the most valuable properties on the planet, okay? So, looks like we might get Jake Paul versus Francis Ngannou. If that goes down, what do you think happens? I'll say it again. Fair play to Jake Paul, right? Fair play. I doubted him. I talked a lot of shit. I did. But if he's going to go from Anthony Joshua to Francis Ngannou, then regardless of whether it's for a lot of money or not, you've still got to kind of respect it. I hate to say that. I do. But he could choose somebody else. He could choose like a Gervonta Davis. And I did shit on that a lot because that was just insane. Going from Mike Tyson to someone that weighs 135 pounds, right? That's not a real fight. It's not a real test. And again, yeah, he's getting paid a lot of money, but Anthony Joshua was a spectacle. Now to do it 2 times in a row, when you just got your jaw broken, flatlined, and dominated and finished, and it was a laughable performance, and then to follow it up with this again, that'd be madness. That'd be damaging to his career, right? No one wants to get knocked out. No one wants to get knocked out 2 times in a row. And no one, if you're managing an asset like Jake Paul, would advise them, hey, box Anthony Joshua, get knocked out, and then for your follow-up, we want you to box Francis Ngannou. Unless the pot is ridiculous, unless the amount of money truly is that big. But do they care about his well-being? Do they care about his health? Do they care about him being able to string a sentence together when you get to my age, right? Maybe they don't care about that either. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I gotta go. Gotta get a haircut. Gotta get some water. My voice is a little bit raspy. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Ring the bell. See you soon.